trendybeats.com.
Oh no, no.
Good day, students, and welcome to computer science class, our very first class of the term. Our topic is the computer software. And you will know that before the computer software was taught in your JS1, you were taught computer hardware. So we'll be entering into the computer software, and our aims and objectives of the class is that you'll be able to define a software. You'll be able to know the difference between a system software and application software. We're able to provide some common examples of a software. We're going to understand the concept of an open software. All of this will be discussed in the class. Now, what is a software or a computer software? A computer software is often referred to as a software and is a collection of programs, data, and instruction that enable a computer to perform a specific task or function. It means the ability for you to process commands. Just has this girl list, there are lots of instructions, and the instructions are commands to perform a specific task. The task is to build a tab, and there are lots of instructions she needs to do within the tab before it can be implemented. Moving forward, we have basically two types of software. We have the system software and the application software. Some persons will say we have the third one called utility software. But basically, there are two types of software. We have the system software and the application software. In brief, we'll talk about the two. The system software. The system software basically manages and controls the computer hardware. The system software includes the operating system and device drivers to enable the computer run properly. So the thing responsible, or the software responsible for the normal operation of the computer, is the system software. And typical examples of the system software are the operating system, which we will discuss much more in the term. We have the firmware, utilities, device drivers, system updates and patches, and we have boot loaders. We have a variety of examples of an operating system. We hear operating system like Ubuntu, Unix, Symbian OS, BlackBerry, iOS, and the likes. All of these are basically examples of a system software. Paying more attention to the evolutions of Windows, which is also an operating system. We have the genealogy that starts from 1985 and is currently at Windows 11, that came out pretty much earlier in the year 2022. Moving forward, we have what we call the device drivers. The device drivers are responsible for the hardware that is being connected into the computer. Take example, you put in your keyboard as an hardware device. The software responsible for the keyboards to be recognized is called a device driver. Also have a firmware. Firmware is a permanent software program that is majorly written in the ROM during the time of manufacturing. The firmware is basically the combination of both the hardware and the software. When you switch on and switch off your system What is responsible for that is the firmware. We also have utilities. Utilities are helping softwares that help run the entire system. A good example is your antivirus. We have your disk defragmentation and the likes. This gives you a proper overview of how the system software is and what it entails. You can see the operating system listing out MS, Windows, Android, Mac OS, iOS, Linux, and the likes. You can see device drivers, you can see firmware and the likes. What then is an open source software? Some software is free for everyone to use and even to modify. It is called an open software. This means that people from all around the world can work together to make the software better. The famous example of open software is a Linux operating system. We have examples of open software. We have the zip files, Eclipse, Chromium, Blender, OpenOffice, Mozilla, FreeDocs, PHDL, Ruby, Python, PHP. All of these are open software. They are more or less available for use. In conclusion, computer software is a digital code that enables computer to perform tasks and provide functionality to users. The computer software is an integral part of modern computing and technology. It encompasses everything about the operating system. So thank you and see you in class.